and quick and easy updos. As you get out into the salon, you're going to realize that time is money, and we need to do lots of different things that we can to really maximize on our time so that we can use new techniques that can get things done in an upstyling, usually for under 30 minutes. So I'm going to cover several different techniques for you. If you look at getting an upstyling done every 30 minutes, 2 per hour, just think about the revenue that can be made there. You're looking at roughly $130, $140 in an hour. How amazing that would be whenever we're doing a bridal party of 10 people. It's great, great, great service and great revenue for us. So the first thing I want to take you through today is how to make your own custom fillers. So my friends, I'm going to show you a couple different examples. So fillers are products that we can use to apply to the head to increase volume. You may see these like a little donut that you can buy at your supply store, and those typically cost $4, $5, $6 a piece. But we're going to make our own custom fillers today, or show you how to make your best fillers. And the thing about that is you can make them in any size. Notice there's a large filler, and also you can make smaller fillers. The products that you're going to need to begin making your own fillers for updos today, number one, I'm going to show you 2 different examples. Hair nets are going to be your first product to use. Notice that this one says Chignon Mono. And notice that this hairnet says Bouffant, okay? The reason those are important to keep in mind is when we do a chignon hairnet, they're smaller. So they're gonna make your smaller fillers like you see here. Therefore, when we apply those to the head, we're only gonna increase volume slightly. Now, in the event that you want something larger like I've made here, this is gonna be done with a Bouffant style net because it's really long, and it will encapsulate all this hair and keep it in a larger size. My friends, don't forget as we go through our session today, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, please put those in the chat and Corey will send those over to me to answer for you. Let's look at the hair necessary for making your fillers. When you go to any wig supply store, what you're looking for is jumbo braiding hair. The key you need to keep in mind is that this hair is textured. You don't want straight hair. You want it to have that zigzagged or crimped hair. Now, to make your large filler, simply back comb an entire package of hair and put it in that Bouffant net. To make your smaller fillers, you're going to use a half a pack of hair, and it's going to be applied into that chignon or mono hairnet to make this smaller. People ask all the time, where do I get these products? Well, like I said, the hair is going to come from your local wig store. The hairnets, these particular hairnets came from Sally's. They're about $1, but you can also get hairnets from Amazon from a brand called Weekend, W-E-K-E-N. You can get 1,000 for around $50. So great tools to have in the dispensary of your salon. Who's ready to see these fillers in action? All right, I'm gonna be lowering my camera here for you so you can see our mannequin up close and tight and in person. One moment. We're gonna start with our small filler first in placement. So once you create those fillers, we're actually gonna be using both of our small fillers today. Turn her around where you can see. To begin with, I have placed an off-center ponytail in the back. When this is finished, we're going to have a very low chignon that's occurring in the back. We're going to begin with our first filler. Watch this technique I use for securing my filler. When I place it in the area that I want, the prongs of the bobby pin are going to go away from you toward her head. It's going to go in, connect to the scalp. You're going to pivot and insert. Let me show you that technique one more time. With that bobby pin, away from you first, notice it catches the scalp here, then it's going to pivot and turn back, my friends. Remember the key rule when putting any bobby pins in someone's hair. Notice the direction that the hair is flowing diagonally. You never want the pin to go in the same exact direction. You want it to crisscross, that way that it gets good bits of hair. So always analyze the direction that the hair is going. So put one more in and anchor. Let's bring this one around the bottom of the ponytail. We're going to go away from us, connect, sit in the corner, anchor, and pull back. Look how nice and tight it's going to get around there. The number of bobby pins, of course, depends on the size of your filler. Put my last one in here on this corner. And notice now we have that filler kind of in a C shape around the back of that ponytail. Now we're going to go in with our second filler. Place our ponytail out of the way. If you need to clamp or clip at any time, simply just using a slide clip, place, let's get that back in there. One thing I want to tell you guys, whenever you're doing long hair styling, investing in these slide clips are amazing, because if you use clips with a lot of teeth on them, a lot of the gator teeth or butterfly clips, when you connect those to the scalp, they can damage the hair quite a bit. So let's get that in place. There we go. Now we're going to place our second filler here at the top. Come in with that bobby pin, anchor, away, anchor, push back. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I'm going to do this from the front where you can see. Notice I'm going to wrap it around and connecting it right over the top of that other padding that's there. So that donut, the round donut filler that you normally buy at the supply store for $4 or $5, this two pieces that now make up the exact same shape only cost about $1 between the 99 half pack of 99-cent hair and the $1 hair nets that we split into two. So how cool, look at the money you've saved. So look what a beautiful chignon shape we have. One last pin, I'm gonna go in and close the two off. Taking that bobby pin away from me, connect the other one, tilt, and return it back. Notice how it brings the seam off. Any questions out there? Don't be scared today, ask as many as you want. So now we've closed that completely off. Let's look at our technique. We're gonna build up on the class that we had yesterday. So going in, we're going to take large sections, approximately 1/2 in width, with our head slightly tilted forward. We're going to go in and give this section a tiny bit of back combing. Tiny bit of back combing. I want you to pay close attention to the techniques used today for back combing, my friends. Those of you that really want to get great at this technique. Here's the most common mistake when back combing. That's putting your comb into a section and allowing it to keep hitting the same spot over and over again. Notice that my comb is never moving. It's hitting the same spot. So it's making a set of back combing in the hair here that's almost impossible to really smooth out later. So for accurate back combing, watch. You're going to push back and notice that your comb should be growing down the strand. So each new section is pushing slightly into the last section. Each new section is pushing slightly into the last section. So that allows you to back comb with ease and allows you to be able to smooth this out much easier in the long run. So keep that technique in mind because we're going to use it a good bit. Go through with a smoothing tool, bore or natural fiber, smoothing tool. Okay. And we're going to go into the hair. Watch this technique. Is we're going to go in and we're going to tie that strand in a knot. When we pull the top of the knot out, we don't release the knot whatsoever. So we keep that knot in place and lay the original knot right up against the surface of our padding. Going in with a bobby pin and catching the filler. You'll notice you'll have a little end stuck out here. That's exactly what we want. Let me repeat that several times for you. Coming in with your next section. Coming in with your next section. I'm going to show you one without back combing, just for the sake of time. You're going to come in, tie the strand in a knot. You're just pulling your tail through the knot. But when you're going through, don't allow this end to come all the way through. Now simply lay the knot up against the surface of your padding. Every bit of the filler does not have to be covered just yet. You'll see why momentarily. So you repeat this and go around your circle several times. Okay. Notice the knotting that is beginning to occur here. So you have a knot, a loop, and you have these little tails that are still sticking out. So okay, let's go to our next one. Keep in mind we're going in with that strand. Circle, bringing it through the loop. Look at our tail, bringing it in place. The little tail stays out as we're working. Simply going to put a bobby pin through the pieces against the scalp before letting it go, and a bobby pin through the bottom knot. Any questions there, Mr. Hawkins?
No, sir. I think they're just enjoying watching you work. I know I sure am.
See the little technique that we get here, starting like flowers? Now, let's do a little expansion before we move any further. Now, you're going to take the tail that's left over. You're going to put it on a bobby pin, just like this, and you're going to wrap it around the bobby pin. Now, we're going to take that bobby pin and find an inconspicuous place for it to hide. The reason we tie it down on that bobby pin is because now we're going to go in and start to expand that section. Because we went in and put it against the scalp with that little tail of that end of that bobby pin, it helps us to latch that down. We're going to come in, start to expand. Pay close attention. Next one. Grabbing that tail. Just think about it for a moment, my friends. If we went in to pull this apart now, this tail would pull out the other side and it would begin to fall apart. So locking this tail down is what helps us to keep the whole thing from collapsing. Put it around. Spin the ends around it just like so. And insert it anywhere. It will stay connected. Now we can go in, slowly start to separate this. We're not looking for super neatness here. This is supposed to be really modern and deconstructed. So you can see how it begins to fill in any of those gaps that may occur as a result of placing our pieces away from each other. Let's lock this tail down. Remember, spin it around, give it a little twist and secure. And now that allows me to go in here and really start to expand any of the shape that we see here. We can pull it in all different directions. You hear from behind where we can start to see her expansion. Move her away just a little bit. I'm going to go in with my hairpins and start to secure. Okay. Coming to the opposite side here. We're going to go in, tie that knot, hold it in place, connect with a bobby pin. Don't forget to connect the knot itself here with a bobby pin as well. Taking that hairpin, putting it right across the ends, give it a spin, and give it a turn, and insert it. That's where now I can go in and begin to get all of that beautiful wide expansion that I'm looking for. Any questions there?
Nope, we've got a few comments coming in. They are loving it and they're excited to see the end result.
Great. Glad to hear that. So let's go in and keep spreading this a little bit. Let me work just a moment to get it nice and organized. So you'll get a really eye for decorating this, my friends, by going in. You'll learn how to expand over time with lots of practice where you need it to have expansion and where you also need it to be more contrast, more contour to the head. Okay, going in, We have a few more pieces left here. Bring it down and around. Insert. Insert. Don't forget your little tail here. So don't forget, if you're looking for those small chignons and you want to use a half a pack of hair and a small hairnet, if you want a large chignon, then you're going to use a whole pack of hair and a large bouffant style hairnet. You need to open it up. And my friends, fantasy pins are a great thing to invest in right now. Fantasy pins are a long style hairpin. They're great for holding things while you're working. So as I expand and get things exactly where I want them, you'll see that I use a hairpin sometimes to hold it in place. And that fantasy pin is great because when it's time to take them out, because they're nice and long, you'll be able to grab the ends of them really well without tearing the hair out. So let's give this a look really quick straight on here. I'm gonna work on it and give it a little expansion. And keep in mind today, we're not working with any types of hairspray whatsoever. So we are trying to keep it nice and organic, but spraying it would not be a problem if that's what you're interested in. Look at those beautiful shapes that you can begin creating the more you expand. I'm maybe going to take some forward a little bit right behind her ear to give it a little bit of that Spanish flair to it, flamenco style. Last section here, we know where it has to cover. Bringing it in place, tying the knot. Remember, we want to bring the knot in place. Secure at the knot first. See how I still have a hold of my tail? Then you want to go into the knot directly. Bobby pin goes around that tail. And we spin it. And we spin it just like putting hair on a perm rod or a roller, and we camouflage it somewhere. That's what helps me keep from pulling this style out all the way from the ends. What do you think she's looking like on camera out there? Corey, is she coming along?
She's coming along. Everything's coming together. Looks great.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's get a beautiful profile photo for you. So we're going to go in and do a little bit of adjustment. Make sure we have it exactly the way we want. So you can see this beautiful finished look. My friends, one key thing I want you always to keep in mind about bridal hair. The bride can never look more, the bridesmaids can never look more beautiful than the bride when it comes to styling. So these quick and cute updos are great for your bridal parties. They're great for bridesmaids. These techniques that are going to start to finish in approximately 30 minutes are perfect for those bridesmaid services. So this technique of double twisting, what I would do, everyone, is I would give it a generous dose of hairspray before the client has to leave. And then at home, they would actually pull all of these long fantasy pins out. Let's see if we got a little hair to cover up in here.
Got some comments coming in that it looks fabulous and they love it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you like it. So just a quick and easy up style that can be achieved in 20 to 30 minutes by using self-padding or by using the padding that occurs and long hairnet. So any other questions? All right, let's look at our next technique. My friends, I think you're gonna love this one. This is one of my favorites to teach. It's also one of my favorite to execute. So we're going to be doing a beautiful vintage wave on this ponytail that you see here using hair nets as well. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is whenever you have this ponytail ready, you're going to subdivide it vertically down the center. So you're going to split your two ponytails in half. And then you're going to split that ponytail in half. So we want 4 equal strands today. And you want to touch those and make sure that they're well balanced because you want to make sure they're nice and even. Okay. Once you get them subdivided, what we're going to do is take a few clips and secure them temporarily. So see how nice this ponytail is? If you use clamps that have a lot of teeth on them, then you take the chance of really messing this up. That's why clamps that have no teeth on the inside are best when securing something to a ponytailed area. So you don't have to run the risk of tearing it up. So put ponytail 1 in place, ponytail 2. Now we're going to split this one in half for 2 equal sections. Ponytail 3 and ponytail 4. Corey, how are we doing on time, sir?
We're doing great. It's 4:08 Central Time.
Great. Thank you. And then our 4th one. We're just going to leave our 4th one down because we're going to work with it. So what you see now are 1, 2, 3, 4 equal sections. We're going to begin with the one that's still hanging down. We're going to start with our back combing that we just did earlier. We're going to reuse it again on this technique. So start pushing backwards. Notice that my comb goes up the strand. Comb is going up the strand. Up the strand. Continue to work up the strand. If you need more, you can even back comb on the top of this surface, working your way back down. Back down. Okay. Once that section has been back combed, you're going to use your favorite smoothing brush, Denman style, nylon bristle or boar bristle brush, and you're going to gently smooth that section. Once it's smooth, simply let it hang there. You're going to move to section 2 and repeat that technique. So I'm going to do this at a quicker pace, the same technique applied. Start your back combing. Notice that I'm building up. I'm going down the strand until I reach the end.
Hey, Jason, we just had a question come in.
Go for it.
Do you back comb the hair before the ponytail?
There's no back combing in it beforehand. That's a great question. It's just a smooth, untreated ponytail. Favorite boar bristle or nylon brush and smooth the surface. So once I get my second one, I'm just going to put it in a clip because I don't want these two to combine. So make sure they stay nice and separated. Go to your third one. So this is a bit repetitive to begin with, but we'll put on your third one. Again, follow that same procedure. Back combing down the strand. This is a good view of you being able to see the underside of it that's actually being back combed. You can see the back combing occurring, which is plenty. My friends, if you're working on hair that does not back comb easily, fine hair does not back comb easily. Super straight, round follicle hair does not back comb easily. You can always use a little bit of hairspray to roughen the surface up, or you can use a styling powder to roughen the surface up. So temporarily gonna put this in place. So that's 3 back combs, 1, 2, and 3. And let's get our last one done here. I think today that this technique will live with you for the rest of your career, using hair nets to make beautiful vintage waves with. And they're super easy for your client. The one time that I use this technique the most often is if I have a client who wants an up style, their hair is very fine, and they want to have an outdoor wedding in the middle of July. Fine hair and heat don't go great together, so by encapsulating these strands in hair nets, it helps hold on to the style. And you'll see exactly what I mean momentarily. After you get that 4th ponytail nice and neatly done, we are going to keep it clipped up for just a moment. All right, here is where the trick goes, everyone. You're going to take a standard bobby pin, And I have 4 of the bun style hairnets that you see here, the bun, the smaller ones. You're going to take that bobby pin. Where hairnets are tied together, it makes a knot at the top of the hairnet. Let me show you. See that little knot? You're going to run that bobby pin right through that knot so that it hangs onto it just like this. You're going to take all 4 hairnets, because there are 4 sections, and you're going to put them onto the same bobby pin. 1, 2. Now, for today's class, I am using black hairnets so that you can really see it on camera. But keep in mind, you can use hairnets the same color as your hair. You can even use hairnets that are contrast in color. So many times I do like a white hairnet over the top to give it that 20s and 30s vintagey feel, or 40s vintagey feel. You can even take blonde hairnets because they are hair fiber, and you can use pigmented color, such as a demi-permanent hair color, and even color hairnets to be some kind of wild color. So all 4 of those go on 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you get all 4 of those on, you're simply going to take that bobby pin and put it right behind the ponytail that's inside of her hair here, and spread those 4 out so that 1 is laying across the top of each one of these strands, because now we're going to put 1 strand in each one of those. Any questions from anyone?
Not yet.
Oh, all right, here we go. Let's do number 1. Here's how you put this in there easily. You're going to open up the hairnet closest to this ponytail. Notice that this ponytail is longer than the end of this hairnet. So watch what we do to make this work. You're going to start at the end of this ponytail. Let me show you how to do a good, cool pin curl. Hold this between your thumb and index finger. You take your opposite index finger and push underneath it like this, and you just start to roll. You're going to roll it up only as far as this elastic hairnet will stretch. Okay? Once you've got it up as far as the hairnet, you're then going to open up that hairnet, and you're going to put it around the strand like so, all the way around. See how that's working? Now here's the trick to making sure there's no hair visible. See how there's hair sticking out from under this? We don't want that. So you take this entire hairnet and you bring it all the way back up against the surface of the head. See this? And then you're going to take a bobby pin, catch both ends of this together, and simply secure it for a moment. So now when you look at all 4 sides of this, there is nothing but a beautiful strand of hair. From off camera, look, you would never even know that there's anything on that. Look at that. It camouflages so well, and I'm using black. Just imagine if I were using dark brown, how much camouflage there would be. So now we repeat that technique on all 4. So let me repeat how we do it. Start at the end of your strand, index and thumb like this, and you turn this end back. You come in with your other index and hold and rotate. You rotate it up as long as this hairnet closest to it will reach. Here's my hairnet. I'm going to open it up and swallow it. Then you grab the sides like this. See how I'm grabbing? You're going to bobby pin it right where my fingers are on my left hand. I'm going to hold it there for you. Grab those 2 hairnets and insert. So when you lift this up, there's no hair stuck outside of that at all. Again, watch. When you go in and spread, that hairnet becomes completely invisible. And look how silky and smooth and shiny this is. So you can see now why, if this were done on a client's hair that's really fine, whose hair can't hold style, these nets are going to do all the work for them. Let's do our 3rd one, and I'll show you how to place. Start at your end, rotate, hairnet, Find your opening. Around. Catch it all the way back up the scalp. Going in with a bobby pin. And connecting it. Look how smooth. And let's do our last one. I hope that this inspires every one of you to be at Sally Beauty tonight buying some great hair nets and trying this out. I just want to say this one more time. If you buy blonde hair nets, you can color them any color you want with a demi or semi-permanent hair color. And then you can make all kinds of amazing creations with cool contrasting nets. They can be hot pink, they can be blue. Once we get our fourth and final, look at how cool that is. Now let's go in and place them into something really magical and really pretty. All you'll need to secure are hairpins. We're gonna make waves out of these. So I'm gonna show you here on the side. Our goal is to go in and to start stretching all the hair within that hairnet. You want it to kind of get flat. Notice whenever you begin to stretch, it starts to make an S. See the shape that begins to occur? That S is crucial in making finger waves or any type of wave, because all waves make that shape. Go in. The more and more that you can stretch this apart, the bigger that your wave is going to be when we're done. Just keep in mind, if you ever tear your net, you would want to replace it. Now watch this technique. Once you've got it flattened out, guys, you're going to fold it like this. You're going to put your finger in the middle and you're going to fold it. See that wave that occurs right in there? You want to be able to come along and put your finger inside of it. So once you fold it, you simply then place it to the head, like so. Notice I keep my index finger in place. Right where your index finger is, all you have to do is come in with a long or short hairpin and insert it right into the scalp, and it holds that wave open for us. How you feeling about it? So far, so good?
So far, so good.
All right. Okay. Once we get the first wave in here, we're going to come in and change directions with it. So look, watch. This wave is coming to the left, so now I'm going to take this wave up to the opposite direction. Come in with a hairpin and connect it to the scalp. So look at this, it's starting to occur. Some people call this cinnamon roll when it's done, because it does kind of look like a little cinnamon roll. I'm going to turn my end back and simply give it a temporary hold like this. Notice when I want the hair to have a temporary hold on it, I leave the pin showing across. Let me get this in a better light for you. Look how beautiful and vintagey this is. So you have this pretty wave that goes along that you now can create just by doing hair nets. Hair will not fold like this in this manner really well without a hair net. So let's look at our next one. Corey, our time? Corey?
4:21.
All right, I have 4 minutes with you guys to get this in there for you. Notice it's nice. See the S that begins to occur? That's exactly what we want. Remember, we fold it together, fold it together, fold it together. Keep your index finger in there like this, and simply begin to put it in place where you want it. And the more and more you do these, I promise you, you'll start to see exactly where you want these to fold. Remember, all it takes is that one hairpin to go right in there against the scalp and hold it right in place. That's our first wave. Going in, fold it, and we're going to go in with that hairpin. And insert right into that wave. So you start to see those beautiful, beautiful waves begin to occur. Extremely three-dimensional. They're raised from the head, which makes them even more beautiful. So keep that in mind. We want this to be up. Here's how you know you've done them right, my friends, whenever you're analyzing your work. You can take your index finger, put it inside of your wave, and run it all the way through, because it has a crest, it has a wave, it has an opening. Let's place one more before we finish for the day so that you can see what it looks like. Going to go in. Just so you know that waves are not the only thing that you can do with these hair nets. Look what else the hair will do beautifully. It will make big, beautiful loops. So if you have a client that struggles with loops, you can always just roll the hair up. This is how you would make the bow that everyone sees so often. See how this makes one side of your bow? So this is another cool way to make that bow as well that is so popular. And look, it only takes one hairpin to hold that bow in place. So this would be one side of it. If you were making the bow, notice you can make the other side of the bow, or you can continue your wave. So many different options here. But these super amazing hairnet usage makes it so easy for us to go in and control hair better than we could if the hairnet were not on it. So I hope you love these techniques. Corey's going to take us away, and I'll keep working here.
Okay, guys, as Jason keeps working, I'm going to go over some of the tools and the tool basket information for you. From Andis, we're looking at the cordless Envy. It has a long-lasting cordless power. Lithium-ion batteries boast for over 2 hours of runtime, and they'll charge in just 90 minutes. They're extremely lightweight. We're also going to be looking at the Slim line, and that is balanced. It's a great ergonomic trimmer for light duty and touch-ups and trimming around necklines. Extremely lightweight as well. With Ergo, we are looking at a full round brush set that would come with a diamond head and a polishing paddle as well. With Acolyte, the Unicorn Lightning Blonding Powder, dust-free, fume-free, blue-based powder. With Shark Fin Shears, it's going to be a professional line of cutting shears with a matched texturizing shear. With Pivot Point, we're looking at the absolute fan favorite Erica that has become the go-to mannequin for many of the professionals of artists and schools. Great length is ideal for practicing various cutting and styling techniques, and the color shows up brilliantly on her 100% human hair. And with the Kenra, we are looking at the Kenra Color Demi, which is 7CG, 5C, 8C, and 8G, and then the Kenra Color Demi 9 Volume Activator. Jason, we've got some more comments coming in that they can't wait to use this trick. It's beautiful. They can't wait to try it on their own. Looks
wonderful.
Beautiful.
That's what I love to hear. My friends, before we leave you, we'd like to leave you also with our Instagram handle for mine and for Corey. So if you want to see some more of these techniques and how they've been shot before, please preview our handles. Corey is going to put them in the chat feature. So let's look at the two
as we speak.
What a beautiful overall view that you get here of this chignon, this really beautiful crown. But if you do want to do something other than waves, look at how beautiful that loop also looks on this side. So you have so many different options. I want you to know that a hairnet should pass the 3-foot rule. So if I am looking at someone, a guest of mine, and I'm standing around 3 feet away from them, it's totally camouflage. You would never even see it. Of course, if anyone gets right up on it, you're going to be able to see that tool. But this is one way to do some beautiful up styling, quick and easy. From start to finish, once practiced, you'll be able to execute these looks in about 20 to 30 minutes. Everyone, we thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to visit us on our Instagram pages. We look forward to it. Also, these recordings will be recorded and put into Shark Fin Shears YouTube channel. So you'll be able to preview them over and over and practice them at home. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.
Thank you, guys.